everybody, welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. My name is Josie, and today I have a recipe here for you, kind of for you to use as a diving off spot, so to speak, on how to use some of your things to either stretch your budget out or to use leftovers to maximize your savings and to help to make ends meet. Now we're going to use baked potatoes today, and whether you start with baked potatoes so that you have one for each of your family members, or you have leftover potatoes and you're just wanting to make something out of it and you're just feeding yourself or maybe just a couple of people, well, this is really easy to do. Now what I've got in this skillet, I have cooked, I made some hamburgers this week to have for different meals, for lunches and different things. And I had some hamburger left and it needed to be used. So I have put it in this skillet here. That's what's in this electric skillet. And I've browned it off. And it's got garlic and onions cooked with it. And I have decided that this baked potato, it's like a loaded baked potato, but it's loaded with what you want to put on it. So I'm going to go beyond the normal sour cream cheese, chives, bacon that you might have on a loaded baked potato. And don't get me wrong, those are delicious. But I'm going to use leftover hamburger meat, and I'm going to use potatoes, and we're going to put these things together and make something good for supper. So I'm going to bring this hamburger meat back up to temperature, and I am going to add some taco seasoning. Now you can use store-bought taco seasoning, you can use your homemade taco seasoning, whatever it is that you happen to have. Now you don't have to use taco seasoning if you don't want to. Blade, he actually prefers less taco seasoning than more taco seasoning, but I like for my taco meat to be seasoned really well. So while that's coming up to temperature, I already have my baked potatoes sitting here waiting to get some yummy toppings on them. Growing up, if we had baked potatoes, I would eat all of the filling out of the potato, and I'd leave the peels behind, the baked potato skin behind. Now that I've grown up and realized that, if you have those skins seasoned and oiled and salted down, that they taste a whole lot better than just a plain old peel. But nonetheless, when I was in high school, we had a salad bar as one of our choices at lunchtime. And about once a week or so, they would bake a whole bunch of potatoes and they would add those to the bar, and you could have a baked potato and put any of the toppings on it. Now, most of the toppings were just regular salad fixins, lettuce and tomato and cucumbers and onions and all the things that you see on a salad bar and all the different dressings that they had. But they would also cook up a big mess of chili and cheese and all of that. And you could have a potato with chili and cheese. Sometimes you could have a potato with broccoli and cheese on it. And those were so good. When we moved here to Oklahoma, there was a little convenience store that had a hot bar there where you could get, potato wedges and chicken strips and stuff like that. And every couple times a month or so, they would do a special with baked potatoes as well. And they would advertise on their sign outside, and you had to really get in a hurry if you wanted to have it, because what it was a baked potato, and it was a pretty good size. Now, these are small baked potatoes, and that's fine for me and maybe fine for your family too, especially if you're having something else to go along with it, a meat or something. But I'm just going to have a potato. But they would make these big old baked potatoes, and then they would top them with brisket, and you could choose other things too if you wanted cheese or you wanted butter, sour cream, or all these different things. But most people wanted the brisket on their potato, and they would sell out quick. The potato is something that is still relatively cheap if you buy it at the grocery store, and lots of people grow their potatoes, and they're filling. Now, we all know that we're trying to save as much money as we can, and so one of the things that having a baked potato as your meal does, it helps you stretch the amount of meat that you have for your supper. Now, these big old potatoes, now I would say that Blade or even my brothers, they would probably eat 2 of these little old potatoes. But if you had some good old bacon potatoes, and then had a variety of toppings, your family is going to go away from the table with their tummy filled. You're going to be able to stretch that meat just a little bit further, you know, whether it's brisket or barbecue of some kind, or roast, or Philly cheese steak fillings, or hamburger like I've seasoned for taco. It's going to go a lot further if you use this. Now, yes, I've got tortilla shells, and we keep taco shells and that kind of stuff to have a taco, or to have a burrito, or whatever it is I want to have. But today, I thought a baked potato sounded good, and I had this meat, and I planned on seasoning it for tacos, and I thought, instead of just having a regular taco, I'm going to fix it this way. So it's really simple, and I really even hate to call it a recipe. I guess I could call it a recipe idea. So I've got a little plate here, and what you do, this meat's seasoned, it's ready to go, and I'm going to turn it off, because if I don't, I'll forget. I'm going to unplug it too. You can put a wide variety of things on it, just like you could a regular taco. Now, I've happened to choose diced tomato, green onions, and shredded cheese, and some sour cream for mine. But you could put peppers, you could put jalapeno peppers, you could put some other kind of pepper, you could put a sauce, you could put a melted cheese instead of a shredded cheese, kind of more like a queso, or even, I guess, a nacho cheese, depending on what you're going for. You could change your onion out to something else. You could put other banana peppers or anything that you wanted to put on it to make your taco potato your own. Now, it's really simple. If you're using it for a family meal and you don't have any of your ingredients cooked yet, well, you're going to need 1 potato per person that's eaten. Now, like I said, if they're smaller potatoes like this, and you've got big teenage boys, or maybe even your spouse, they may want a bigger potato, especially if you're not serving any other meats besides what you're putting on the little tater. Then your meat's going to vary. Now, for me, since it's just a leftover meal, I'm just using, it's probably about, I probably have about half a pound of hamburger meat cooked up here, seasoned up, and I'm going to use that on my potato. But I would say, if you make tacos for your family, I would make the amount of meat maybe just a little bit less than what you normally would, and they're going to put that on their potatoes. So this is actually going to become the new vessel rather than taco shells. So you play around with the amount of taco meat that you want for your family, because some are just going to put a little bit of meat on theirs, and others are going to put a whole lot. So it's really an adaptable recipe to what ingredients you have on hand. My other suggestion to you to stretch this out is to make sure that you have a wide variety of toppings. Sorry about that, you can't see that. A wide variety of toppings for your family to choose. For your family to choose from. There's not any assembly to this if your children are older. You can put the ingredients on the table, and the meat on the table, and the taters on the table, and everybody build their own. Of course, you know, for your little kiddies, you're going to have to customize that for them. And it's simply as easy as this, guys. You're going to slice your potato open. Now, this is where you've got some decisions to make. You can salt and pepper it. You might even say, well, I want a little butter on it. And that is totally 100% up to you. I am going to put some pepper on my potato. You're going to cover this potato with however much meat that you want. That's probably good for me, but I'm the only one eating this. I'm going to use my fingers. My hands are clean. And I'm just going to add a little tomato. I say a little. And some green onion. Some cheese. A little bit of sour cream. Now you can assemble this the way you want to. If you want to put your sour cream down below next to the tater, that's up to you. Now, once it's built, you have opportunity to add any kind of hot sauce, salsa, any other kind of peppers, anything that you want to add. Jalapenos would be really, really good to add to this. And it's up to you what you want to put on it. It's very, very versatile recipe, budget-friendly recipe, filling recipe where you don't have to have as much meat to make the family budget stretch, to make the family meal stretch. And it's very easy to use leftover hamburger meat and other meats as well. You could put chicken in this and change up some of the ingredients and make a chicken baked potato, whether it's barbecue chicken or smoked chicken, or that balsamic chicken might be really good on this with a little bit of tweaking. Some people put guacamole on theirs, pico de gallo, anything that you like, try it. It's your tater. You put on it what you like. So now we'll just taste it. I'll get it down in there and get a little bit of that potato. Very, very good. A recipe just came to my mind. I think the next time, the next time that I decide to have a baked potato for my meal with toppings, I think that I will make some chicken, season it up really good, and cut it up, and then mix salsa in with my sour cream and make it a southwestern chicken. Don't that sound good? I just wanted to get on here and bring you a recipe that I thought that you might enjoy, that would help you stretch your budget to the end of the month by having a filling baked potato with not as much meat and other toppings that you could add to it, just to make it flavorful and to make something that your family will like. Now, making tacos homemade is really not that expensive. But I will tell you that in times of trouble, when your budget is tight or there might be dire circumstances, we don't know the future, there is such a thing as appetite fatigue, and it usually affects little children and elderly. And when you've eaten something over and over and over and over, they just get to the point that they won't eat because they need the variety. Now, so that's why I challenge you to use the potato as a vessel for other things. You could try Mexican, Italian, Mediterranean, any kind of meats. The ideas are just innumerable. And so I challenge y'all to find recipes that will make your budget stretch. Find recipes that your family would really like, that's filling to them. They're going to go away from the table feeling satisfied, but not realizing maybe that you didn't use quite as much meat, which we all know is expensive, as you normally would. So I'm going to get off here and enjoy my supper, y'all. And I'm going to ask that if you have an idea that would make a delicious filling for a baked potato that I might not have discussed on here, share it with me and we'll try it sometime. Just down in the comments or drop me a line. I enjoy getting letters from y'all. So I'm gonna jump off of here, but not without saying that I love you guys. I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. Find ways to make your ends meet. And until next time, guys, we're gone.